Hi, I'm Dr. Catherine Reese, and I'm with Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. I love running, and I'm hoping to share some tips with you today. A pandemic is a really interesting and unprecedented time for all of us. The keys are keeping yourself really free from infection as much as you can by limiting physical interaction with other people, and then running groups are often out. Right now during the pandemic, a really good idea is to get into your whys of motivation. You could be running and training for a race somewhere in the future or a virtual race. You could be running to get fit. You could be running just for the joy of it. I actually think that now is a perfect time to try to find the joy in running. Do smaller, shorter runs, build up your stock of good running memories, do them outside, do them in beautiful weather, beautiful locations, just making sure that you're safe with that infection risk. A virtual race is going to be a race that you pay for, you get the medal, but you run it on your own. And so what I would say is you're going to want to do a similar training program to what you would do for a main race. And when you run the virtual race, I would also plan on having some hydration stops planned along your way. Maybe do it in loops, or have your family meet you or friends or something like that, so that you have that hydration in the middle of the race. An online training program you can do pretty much on your own. You have a list of workouts and you go through and you do the workouts that are prescribed to you for those days. The nice thing about it is it gives you a plan. So it's kind of like a virtual running buddy. It tells you what you're going to do that day. So a lot of times people who have trouble with motivation or coming up with what you want to do that day, someone has already put it together and you have the plan in place. It also builds you up gradually in terms of training, so you are having less risk for injury from overtraining or jumping in too quickly. If you start to have pain that won't go away with rest, and you do your rest ice compression elevation, it's not going away, that would be a good time to get evaluated by one of our sports medicine professionals. We understand that these times are difficult and challenging for everybody. We aren't able to do our in-person races right now. I really want you to go find the joy in running. Get out there, keep doing your training program, and we'll get back together soon. The Franciscan Health Race Training Program has a coach that will check in with you weekly and answer questions if you need. If you would like to sign up for that program, and also for more tips or tricks, you can go to franciscanhealth.org/racetraining.